everyone, welcome to FPL Clue for another video. So it's finally time to do a Game Week 20 team selection video. Please leave a like and subscribe the channel for more weekly FPL contents. So here is how my team performed on Game Week 19. 47 points and red arrow for the second successive week. With Chelsea and Fulham game remaining, Kepa and Andreas will play another game. I used only one free transfer out of the two from last week and brought Luke Shaw for James, which turned to be a good decision. 15 points, but even that couldn't avoid a red arrow for me. Trippier and Rashford were amongst the other players who returned for me. Rest everyone blanked. I only had Kepa and Andreas from the double game weekers, but I would never captain them ahead of Haaland, but even the trust on Haaland didn't pay off well enough. So this is how my team will shape for Game Week 20. There's a bit of confusion on who to start between Kepa and Ward. For the time being, I'll start Kepa in goal. They play home against a Crystal Palace side who failed to score in 3 out of 4 previous games. Ward plays Forest away, who are also struggling in front of goal, but Leicester conceded lots of chances as well after the restart. So it's better to kinda see their performance in Game Week 20 before I decide who to pick as my first choice keeper. However, this is still not the final decision. Things might change before the deadline. Luke Shaw is the first defender to start with. He has been in tremendous form recently, and with the double game week confirmed for United, he is the must-have FPL asset for Game Week 20. However, if you don't have him in your team, then Diogo Dalot is also a good option. A bit cheaper, but very much same as Luke Shaw in terms of point returns and performance. There might be a little risk he and Wan-Bissaka might start only one game out of the two, but that shouldn't be a major concern. If you have the budget to afford Luke Shaw, I think he is the safest option out of the two. He is the highest scoring player amongst all players since Game Week 17. Next is Cancelo. With Cancelo's situation still unknown, I think I will hold on to him for this double game week. It was very frustrating to see him start against Chelsea to play only the first half. Exchange was a tactical one and not anything related to injury or stuff like that. That really is not good for a 7.3 million defender. So this double game week is a good excuse to keep him for another week to kinda analyze the situation, and might move him on next game week if he fails to start and return this game week. And Trippier wraps up the 3-man defense for the week. Like I said before, he is the name of consistency in FPL. Newcastle as a whole team are playing brilliant this season, and if they keep clean sheet, then Trippier most likely take the bonus points as well. And of course, he is an attacking player. We can expect attacking returns as well every game he plays. Moving on to the midfield, Salah is having a kind of okay game against Brighton away. It's not the greatest fixture in FPL, so keeping this and also the double game week for Manchester City in mind, I'm planning to bring KDB in for Salah for Game Week 20. I've got 2 free transfers for this upcoming game week. I'll most likely use only one, and that would be Salah to KDB. But I will not make this move until the deadline, because if the Liverpool gets double game week announcements, then probably my decision would be changed. My transfer decision also based on other double game week announcements we will get before the deadline, because the next option would be Nunez to Kane and get rid of Cancelo for another City defender. But as things stand, I'll most likely go for Salah to KDB, because they have 2 double game weeks in the space of 4 game weeks. And not only that, after the double game week 23, they play Forest and Bournemouth away in Game Week 24 and 25 respectively. Next is Martinelli. They play Spurs away, not an ideal fixture on paper, but Spurs are conceding lots of chances this season. And with the form Martinelli and the entire Arsenal attackers are, I think it wouldn't be an easy day for Spurs defenders. And you could expect Martinelli play Esport to do the damage. He is nailed, he is in form, he is consistent, and he is still a budget midfielder, so he should always be part of your team no matter what. Next is Almiron. Almiron has blanked in the last 2 games, but he has an easy game at home against Fulham, who are not so good defensively. Yes, they kept 2 clean sheets in the last 3 games, but they are still one of the weakest defense in the league. And Almiron is expected to score 1 or 2 goals or 1 or 2 assists against them. Marcus Rashford is in best form of his life. He just can't stop scoring. He scored in 3 consecutive games and also assisted once since game week 17. He continued his best run of form in Carabao Cup by scoring a sensational brace just before the final whistle. He is only selected by less than 40% managers. With his brilliant form on the double game week, there is no best time than now to bring him in your team. By the way, he is one of the most transferred in players so far this week. Moving into forwards, Martial is my first forward pick. His minutes are a bit of concern, but that shouldn't change anything about the selection. He has got the double game week and he is the first choice striker, and the way Manchester United are improving in every area of the field, you can expect them to score against any team, and there is no doubt Martial is gonna play an important role in their attack alongside the likes of Rashford, Antony and Fernandes. Next is Haaland. It's very exciting to finally see Haaland having a double game week. Are you planning to triple captain him for this game week? He's obviously gonna be my captain for this game week, but I'm not planning to use any chip. But if you're planning to triple captain him this week, it might be a good decision, because Manchester City are trying their best to close the gap with Arsenal, and Haaland is set to get his minutes, and he'll try his best to get the most out of this opportunity. And finally, Nunez will fill up the 3rd forward spot. He is still getting his chances but not delivering. He scored against Wolves in FA Cup, and we might finally see him finishing those chances in Premier League as well. He has already been transferred out by almost 170k managers at the time of recording. Kane is the most obvious replacement if you have the funds, but most likely such move requires 2 transfers, and especially if you're gonna do it for a head, then I don't think it's worth it, given that Kane is on 4 yellow cards. There is a chance he might end up playing only 1 game of the double game week. It's kinda similar case as it was last week with Mitrovic. So as things stands, I'm planning to keep Nunez for another game week and roll my second free transfer. Let me know in the comment below what do you think about this. In bench, I have Ward that I'm gonna watch for 1 more game week and see how he and Leicester perform defensively against the Forest side, who are not very good in attack. Andreas will play Newcastle and will fill the first spot in the bench. White is 2nd and Dank is 3rd. Let's put the captaincy armband on Haaland as I mentioned earlier, and vice captaincy duty goes to inform Rashford for this game week. And that's it for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the content. Please leave a like and subscribe the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.